Previously on Teamfight Manager 2, the red shirts have lost 3 games in a row. Because they suck. Haha, haha, ha.
Whoa, whoa, Shakira. Hello, everyone. I'm back. And there's been a patch, an in-game patch. We're on version 2026.0.1. And you know what that means? That means they've made 2 buffs and they've made 2 nerfs. But how significant are those buffs and nerfs? Well, let's have a look. Taoist, a small buff to their like AP, and then their skill ratios are getting slightly stronger. I don't think this buff makes any difference to the character whatsoever. Moving on, the Hitman, which is like some sort of jungler ADC Kindred-like character. Base attack's going up by 14. Range is going up a bit. Armor's going up a bit. HP's going up a little bit. Attack speed is going up by like 2%, which could be significant. I feel like this is very, very minor, so not sure about the impact there. Android is a character that's been picked against us, but we haven't used. We're saying the scaling is out of control. Once the game goes too long, they become unbearable. Just like that accent I did, probably. Yeah, magic resist going down, health's going down, the scaling, health scaling going down quite a lot. Actually, that's a really big amount of health scaling lost. So Android's like pretty crap now in comparison to what they were. That doesn't necessarily mean they aren't still overall a good champion, potentially, but I think we will avoid picking up Android. And then Whipmaster is getting nerfed as well, although I don't think that overall these numbers are quite as significant. But their base attack damage is going down and their attack scaling is going down very slightly, as well as their HP scaling. So maybe Whipmaster lesser in the terms of priority, but I don't think this really changes anything for us. I was hoping for a more impactful patch. More impactful patch, because I think we might have been able to leverage that to our advantage, and well, the patch isn't that impactful, so I don't know that it'll do an awful lot to us. But I digress, or do I? I don't know. Maybe I'm using that word incorrectly. We're moving on. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next game. Well, I said I'd catch you in the next game, but of course I lied, because I am yeah, awful, absolutely awful. Uncle has, sometimes periodically, I haven't really been showing these, but periodically we get these events, and then you always get like 1 to 3 options, I guess, to pick from. And because we've made Uncle the streamer, and we want them to have as many fans as possible because we're trying to sell Uncle merch, I guess I'm just going to pick the one that increases the fan count the most and fan satisfaction. But this would have a knock-on effect on Uncle's stress and conditioning, which doesn't matter because we don't really care how well they play. They're just a streamer now for us. We're not going to put them in the lineup. So let's just promote the rising star of Uncle. Rising star in the streaming world, I guess, but not in the professional world. We'll do that, and I'll keep taking. Oh, this is new. Sorry, this probably doesn't mean nothing to you, but this is I have not seen this news article before, but it's actually given like odds for each team and like a power, well, not a power rank. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so it does. So this rating, each if I go into like the rankings, there'll be somewhere where you can see like the actual where you're ranked in the world as a team. So we're pretty bad. Or this is not necessarily where you're ranked in the world, it's like your ELO rating, I guess. Anyway, we're worse than the Feral Banshees, but not like wildly worse, in theory. I mean, look, I'm just saying, we shouldn't expect to win our next game. Okay, so is there anything of note about the Feral Banshee players? Yes, their top laner is going to absolutely dunk on us because he's way better than us. It's been a while since I've actually played this save. Can't remember if I said this or not. All the mods are like turned off now on my end, effectively, because every time there's an update to this game, and they've been updating it basically every day or every other day, there's been like a hotfix or a small patch or what have you. And that has caused the mods to start breaking and things, so I've just turned them all off, basically. I'm going to ban Hitman because he was buffed. What was the other buff? Taoist. I don't think that makes any difference. I was saying I don't think the Hitman buff is that significant, but I'll ban it anyway. They are recommending that I ban Dancer, so you know what? Fine. Well, let's ban Dancer. Wind Mage is banned. What else do I want to ban? Maybe I'll ban Circus Blade, which is a very Feast or Famine champion. They're kind of like Zed from League of Legends. Their ultimate is basically the same. So our head coach is advising us to pick Pole Warrior early, and I know the win rate and stuff for this champion is actually pretty good. They are not a champion that I think we've played yet in the series, but they have an ultimate which has a knock-up, which is really nice, and they kind of have like a fizz thing going on with their a jump dash kind of thing. I don't think it makes them invincible necessarily. Oh, it does. No, that's what their level 3 ability does. So we'll go with Brawler Fizz, and they've picked another brawler in the top lane and a very immobile champion, so maybe we will try to exploit their immobility. He says, not knowing what to pick, so I just pick in Gambler. But Gambler can go mid or bottom. And then same that we recommend Fighter. Fighter plus Pole Hero, I think, is a really good synergy. So we'll do that. That gives us a lot of engage, a lot of stun, a lot of kind of crowd control. So we'll see if that works for us. They, on the other hand, have a lot more hope and stuff like that than we do. We also currently don't have any magic damage. So we should probably get a mage of some description to go somewhere. I'm going to get Shadowmancer. I'm thinking of putting Shadowmancer in the top lane, actually. Which might not be a good idea. But I'll explain. I'll tell you for why. I'll tell you for why in a moment. I'm also going to go with, as our support, there's a lot of champions on their team that I would like to hook, so I'm going to go with the Executioner. Well, I say there's a lot of champions, there were 2. And so less than half their team I'd like to hook. But it is what it is. The only problem with my comp is that we don't have a particularly good jungler, necessarily. I'm thinking that we'll make one of Pole Warrior or the Fighter our jungler, and they both have basically exactly the same scaling by the looks of it. Pole Warrior has slightly more health, so purely on that basis I'm going to put Fighter in the jungle instead, but I don't actually know if that's a good idea. I think that gank should be okay, but maybe their clear won't be very good. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. We are going to go for a focus on probably the bottom and middle lanes, because I think our top lane is in trouble. But the reason I said I had a reason for picking Shadowmancer. I promise I do. Sometimes I actually think about things. The reason I picked Shadowmancer in the top lane is because their ultimate is like a really good disengage tool. It puts people in a shadow realm for 3 seconds. Whereas the Dual Blader is an engage type champion, so maybe this gives the gives our top laner some sense of counterplay. That's my logic. Whether or not it makes any sense, I guess, remains to be seen. We're gonna go with which lane opponent? AD. So we'll go AD into defense. I don't know about the final answer. I might go attack speed on Fighter into some tankiness, because I'm not expecting Fighter to be our main source of damage, but if you buff a character's attack speed in this game, it also buffs their movement speed if they complete this item. So my idea is that this will help them gank just a little bit better. We'll go kind of full AD on the carry, and defense into HP on, I mean, their team is full AD, so I don't think we need necessarily HP. This is the thing, I don't know if it's better to go, and you can look at what the items do, right? So if I go to steel armor, this is the defense one. Eventually it will build in something that gives me 130 armor, basic attack reduction of 12%, and when I'm hit by an attack I deal 10 plus 2% of my armor as damage back to the attacker. So it's very similar to like Thornmail if you played League of Legends. Health 1, you recover 40 HP per second and deal 10 plus 1% of your max HP as magic damage to all enemies. So maybe this is generally better. But I'm not going to sit here and work out all the maths, because that would be something that would require thought. And sometimes As it turns out, I don't think about things. We have more of an engage style composition, so we will try to engage. I think we can split push with... Who would be our split pusher? Probably our mid laner. And this will probably do. Alright. We're in the first game. And depending on how this goes, I may or may not call on a guest commentator to steer us through the second game. Honestly, I'm just recording these completely... I'm very tired right now. It's actually gone past midnight. I really shouldn't be recording this. I've got work tomorrow. What am I doing? But I realised I hadn't uploaded any of these for a while. Oh, fuck. Well, so yeah. I might be a little bit delirious by the end of all this. Anyway, top lane is not going well. Of course, we don't have the ultimate ability on, like, the Shadow Mancer until level 5, and they are currently level 2. So top's bad, and we're leaving them on an island. But we always knew that that lane was going to be really tough because they're just a much weaker player than their opponent. Because we do pick up a kill in the bot lane that goes on our carry, so that's pretty good. Killed the enemy support. Would have been better if we killed their carry, obviously, but a kill's a kill. It means we've got a winning lane, so that's exciting. And mid lane's like even, actually. Things aren't going too bad. I'm just catastrophizing about the situation in the top lane. As once again, we show them a little bit of fight there in the bottom lane. I think we're due the old serpent objective. One of the things I was going to say, actually, there's been quite a lot of updates to the game. And so they've changed some of the AI logic in terms of like both sets of teams, like what the players will actually do, how aggressively they'll end the game. And there's lots of tweaks going on under the hood, as you'd expect, given that this game is in very, very early access. Here's an engage from the Pole Warrior, almost enough to completely blow up. In fact, we actually do get the kill. Nice. Well, that was a wild hook, and it gets our... That's the sort of hook that I see in my support games. Or games where, when I play League of Legends, right? Where your support has gone, oh, I can land a hook here, so I will. Even though you're trying to protect a character who's very low HP, so wasn't a smart hook, is what I was trying to say. We're really this is a heavily contested objective, and it ends up not going in our favor, and neither does the top lane. Also, mid lane was looking pretty bleak there as well. Suddenly everything is not going the way we want it to go. At least in the bits that the director of this game, the cameraman, were willing to show, and quite frankly, I think that shows some bias against the red shirts. But we'll take it. We're the underdogs here, okay? And we open the tree clash with a kill, and then our support just face tanks an ultimate, dies, but does create the space that allows us to maybe punish elsewhere. This is a bit sketchy because their top lane is a lot more effective currently than ours, so I think they're possibly... I don't think they can do the tree with that few of them. It's too early in the game. So I think this is alright. Little hook. Little poke. Do we kill the support? We do. Look at this Pole Warrior. Absolutely popping off. And another hook. Oh! See, you got to take the good with the bad sometimes, right? You got to take the good with the bad. That's what the execution is all about. Piloted by our team, anyway. No choice. You have to take the good with the bad. Or you have to take the bad with the good? Is that like a glass half full kind of saying? Does that say more about me? On a psychoanalytical level, like which one I said first. We are picking up the tree. We're picking up turrets, and we pick up another kill in the mid lane. That serpent is up again, and I think it's gone now. Actually, I don't think that was caught by the director. But we are making some progress in the game. Gold is surprisingly in our favor. We have just lost 3 of our champions are dead. So if this was like, oh, well, there's a kill. If this was like actual League of Legends or presumably Dota, I've not played Dota. But obviously this buff that we have currently is like it's the equivalent of Baron in League of Legends, but every player who was alive at the time Baron was slain by the team that slays it gets the buff. In this game, you can die and you still retain the buff, which is just as well, because otherwise it would be completely pointless for us to ever take the objective, because we die so much. But this is looking good. This is looking bad. It's looking good again. No, it's just the dual blader currently actually that is really, really scary. And we did identify beforehand that their top laner was really good. And they've got a 3-level lead on our top laner. So yeah, that is their win con. 4-level lead now. Oh my goodness. It's like actual League of Legends in the top lane this season. Because that is a disgusting role that no one should play. I used to main top lane, but this season in League of Legends top lane it's not a nice place to be because it's so snowbally. Well, we fucked that up. We're going to lose this tree. Our top laner is on an island. I think the best they can do is just shove minions, get under your turret, recall. Or walk into the jungle and die. We might pick up this objective, but it looks like they are considering contesting it. Crazy engage. But it kind of pays off? Question mark? I mean, we trade 1 for 1, I think. We very nearly die there. And look at this top laner. It's a nasty situation. Maybe it was the wrong pick for me to go for a mage into their top laner, but I just kind of feel like because we could have played Uncle, and Uncle would have done just as badly. Maybe it would have been better to give the Pole Warrior champion in the top lane, because then there's more. That probably actually would have been a lot better, because Pole Warrior can engage and disengage, whereas Shadowmancer can kind of disengage with their ultimate, but that obviously has a much bigger cooldown. So probably my fault. We'll go with Hitman, and it's actually what our coach is recommending too. We're aligned. Hitman can be played jungle or ADC. So that's where we have a little bit of flexibility. They have gone immediately with 2 mages. Control mage. 2 control mages actually. One has a slow, that's the white mage, and the ice mage, well, you know, they have a lot of freezing type stuff. So I'm going to go Sniper, because Sniper has a lot of range and doesn't care about slows and stuff. Not that that's what our coach recommended. I don't think Inquisitor is the pick, because they have some sort of dashes and things, and I'm not sure that that's what we want. Having said that, I'm also not really sure what I do want, so I'm just going to pick Demon. And that's going to be what we put in the jungle. And that's going to be what we put in the jungle. What the hell have I done? I've put... Ah, piss. I've put Sniper in the jungle. Well, this is a disaster. This is an absolute shambles. But I'm not going to re-record this video. We're just going to accept that I fucked that up.
My God, Jeff, I've commentated on 4 episodes of Teamfight Manager 2 now. I can safely say I've never seen scenes such as this. The sniper in the jungle, the players in absolute disarray. It's a kill. It's a kill already for the cavalry. The red shirts, the fans, they're mutinying in the stands. This is match fixing, Jeff. This is match fixing.
Maybe I'm just role-playing as a corrupt organization that is desperate for the illicit games that we, you know, because we're certainly not winning. So, but then again, that also does best the question: why would we need to throw games when we're just this bad? I suppose the real answer there is that we're looking to make a killing on, you know, just weird bets, isn't it? Like when you're like, oh, there'll be a yellow card in the 27th minute and it will be this player. And then they get a yellow card in the 27th minute and you're like, somebody bet a large sum of money on this very improbable and very specific event. Maybe that's more the business that we're in. Ow, they'll put Sniper in the jungle for a laugh because their coach is effectively a zombie, barely conscious. Well... What joke? You know, I started the series thinking, oh, I'll take it seriously. Oh, this'll be just something nice. I don't have to put on any silly voices. I don't have to put any effort into the editing. I put very little effort into the editing, to be fair. And look where that's got me. What would Elvis say? He would say that we're caught in a trap, because that's his song, isn't it? Yeah, next time I'll draft properly. Don't hold me to that. Okay, bye.